Let's get it in. Your boy, step back, Mikey. I'm going all in. I gotta come back. You call from me. I'm getting the emails. I got like 20 subscribers, man. I'm up to 200,000 the next week. You know what it is. We get busy with the Rockets. It is what it is. We talked about the Lakers in our last chat. Now we going in on the Rockets and the situational awareness of where they're headed. They were winning some games with the old heads. It was Gordon, It was who was the other couple of folks that they had on there. It was just the Nawaba, all those guys, the older guys were coming in. I believe Mr. Thomas, Matt Thomas, a 3-point shooter. Matthews, it was a 3-point shooter that they picked up. I like his game, and I'm not sure you want to leave him off of this team. However, they were winning, but I believe it was a showcase. So they could get some more assets. And right now, the assets they were relying on that started the season, yes, sir, Kevin Porter Jr. back in the building. So is Jaden. Yes, sir. So he's back as well. Jalen comes back with Kevin Porter Jr. And now we get back to the growth spurt, right? What they need to get better. 5 threes from Kevin. It's obvious that the time off helped him. I mean, the speed, his lift, his bounce was incredible against the Lakers. It's a sign of he needs some more conditioning in the offseason so he can keep this up because he looked what makes him one of my favorite players and part of the step back roster. Jalen Green is a bona fide scorer. There's a couple guys that come to mind, Isaiah Ryder, and then I started to see if he can get defensive minded, maybe a Latrell Sprewell. He's a bona fide scoring freak. I think those pair are something you got to keep, okay? You keep those two. Josh Christopher is going to play the bench role, right? He's coming off the bench. He's become a good sixth man. Can get better. A big spark. I like what the Rockets have there. I definitely like Christian Woods, but I'm afraid of his size. I'm afraid of a long season. I'm afraid how long he will last. I'm also afraid if he bulks up too much, he may lose some of that ambidextrous movement that he's able to do currently with the Gumby arms. You know what I mean? So it kind of hurts him. So I'm scared about that. That said, what's my point here? I think you need to trade Gordon. All right. There's a couple guys that I think just need to go. And the reason why I'm saying they need to go. I wasn't on here with the POF. Who remembers that shit? Anyway, CBS. I'm going to get there and look at the roster for the Rockets. And we're going to get busy. I mean, it is what it is. And we're going to check out the rosters. And we're going to really get busy with this thing, man. So DJ Augustine was tremendous. He's an asset, 34. Definitely needs to play for a championship team. Armani Brooks is tremendous off the bench. I like him and Christopher. I think they perform a duo. Garuba is trying to get his feet wet. Okay, he's a young boy. He's a bigger guy. Those guys take longer to develop. Okay, don't expect him to do much right now. It's going to take him a couple years. Eric Gordon's 33. Needs to go to a contender. Okay, I'm not sure why there's another couple teams on the LA side that don't look at Eric Gordon. He should be a hot commodity and is a proven asset. He can definitely help a team do something. Okay, Jalen Green's there. We talked about him. Kevin Martin Jr. is a stud, a steal. He's at 20 years old. Can he grow another inch or two? If he's at 6'8", he's a future at that position. Garrett Matthews was a guy that just came in, was shooting the lights out. Tremendous. They signed in Deshaun Nix, okay, based upon the relationship that Jalen Green had at the G League level. She said, you know what? Bring in my boy Deshaun Nix. I like this pickup. I like the youth movement. I think there's a future there. David Nawaba, 28 years old. He may want a championship team. Kevin Porter Jr., still only 21 years old, and is balling his eyes out. They have a star at that point guard role. Okay. Mr. Queen is okay, but Mr. Segun is the future. They have right now a big four. I'm calling it here, okay? Segun at 6'10", 243 is a poor man's Jokic. I think they have a big four if developed, if no one's traded. Okay, Daniel Tice, good off the bench role player. Not sure if he wants to stay. parlay these moves into draft picks. I think they can stand another year of growth. This team could end up like Cleveland Cavaliers, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him enter in some playoff talks next year if they're able to keep the team together and they go through these growing pains and add the right pieces. Jonathan Wall is still available, right? He needs to get traded somewhere. There goes a big asset along with Gordon and DJ Augustine. Who can you nab that's young? Who can you nab, from a bench power forward perspective? I don't see much here, and that's my only issue. I don't see much here. Would be nice to see him add someone to the ilk of maybe a Marvin Bagley. Could you do something like that? Right? I'm not sure he would trade for that. I'm trying to think of another guy who would be an even trade off. To try to get some size back. Right? Add on to the game that the team that they have with Martin Jr. That's what I think they need. I think their guard position is pretty solid. I like the backups, but now they need to really add on to the front court. I'm going to sign off here. Rockets are progressing. I'm liking their system. I'm liking their players. I'm liking the openness that they're playing with. Need to trade the old heads. They deserve a chance for a championship. I'm going to sign off here. Your boy, Step Back, talking about the Rockets and the state of right now. Peace.